always tell people he was the greatest man I ever met.
Well, he's in that category.
Yeah.
By the way, the other day, I called your number, and a voice answered and said, "Hello." And I said, "Could I speak to George Hamilton?" He said, "George Hamilton I died in 1893. And he's buried in Winston-Salem." And I said, "Well, George Hamilton II then?" He said, "Well, he retired several years ago, and he's living in Winston-Salem." And I said, "George Hamilton III?" He said, "Well, he's not around now. He's out of town." I said, "Well, George Hamilton IV?" He said, "Well, he's in England now doing a gig." And so I said, "Well, George Hamilton V?" And he said, "Well, he's in the studio." And I said, "Well, who are you?" And he says, "I'm George Hamilton VI." And I said, "Are you preparing to have a child someday?" And he said, "Well, I'm too early right now." And I said, "Yeah." I said, he said, "But it's a twinkle in my eye." Now that's a lie, but the story is greater than the truth value. And it fit the instant, and that's what theater is about.
It's an apocryphal story.
Poor theater, but it's a theater. It's not poor, it's good.
Well, remember when we were...
we have him to crawl back and forth on.
Do you remember when we went to an Italian restaurant? Was it Mario's down on West End?